Chan, I'm Chipo Chung, and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Welcome, everybody.
Chen. Hi, everybody. I don't know how Chiba did a better job than I'm far gonna ever do. Welcome to Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, folks. Welcome, and welcome to a new episode of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and our new numbers that we've just acquired just recently. So for everybody who's hit that subscribe button, thank you so much. Today we've got a special guest with our interview with Chipo Chung, who made 2 appearances on her debut over at Doctor Who, and it was, I think she said it was like 20 years ago, where she played Chantho, and I'm not going to do that anymore because it's too early for that over there. And she also played the mysterious teller in Turn Left. So she was in 2 episodes, 2 more episodes than I will ever be in so far on Doctor Who. So I'm very excited about that, and we're going to be bringing in our guest in just a few moments. So everybody who got up with us, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the Legend of Traveling TARDIS. And if you're one of those that just hit the subscribe button and see what we're like, thank you so much for subscribing to us. So welcome there. Let me go ahead and bring in the panelists. First of all, we're going to start with Sean. In no particular order, because we are, well, you know what? It's 5 a.m. here right now. Yes, thank you. Good morning to you too as well, Sticks Boy. Thank you. Sean, how you doing there, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this interview. It is very early, but it is definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's always worth it with our guests over there. But yeah, I just, well, you know what? As Melanie would love for me to do, I've got a special cup of coffee right here. One of our sponsors. It is Coffee Shop of Horrors, and this is their nut house. I'm still trying to get through it, so there's a lot of this purchase, and we're going to be selling these at our upcoming conventions, including, we'll make those announcements a little bit later. But luckily, we have 3 now, and possibly a 4th convention coming up. We will announce the other 2 conventions as the day progresses. Or time progresses. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and bring in the lovely Melanie Dean. How's it going, Melanie?
Doing quite well. I'm actually making sure I'm focusing on my mute button for once. Excited for this interview with Chipo. So I mean, yes, maybe it's been 20 years since Doctor Who, and I know we've all got little questions here and there, but you know, some of our current work, I'm a huge fan of her watching her in Silo. So very excited to chat with her today.
Very good. And don't forget, you're more than welcome to go into the chats if you have any questions for Chipo. Of course, super chats are always welcome, and whoever puts in the super chat, if the question's clean enough, we'll be more than happy to ask Chipo for you on your behalf out there. Speaking on your behalf, there's Tom, the Lord Amagon. How you doing there, Tom? Tasty cakes. Good morning, sir. Stretch it.
Morning.
And I thought I was in a dark room. What the heck's going on back there?
I turn the lights on at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay. Don't wake up the neighbors.
In the dark.
How you doing, Tom?
Who sang it? Katy Perry? I'm awake.
Yes.
Old, but I'm awake. Waiting for
Tom
it.
is quite the conversationalist this morning.
Yeah, exactly. It's 5
Am I
a.m.
ever?
Yes.
Go back to sleep.
Absolutely. Speaking of conversationalists, welcome the lovely Dave Chapman. Dave, you
Hello,
played a
hello.
game just yesterday. What was that? The Doctor Who
Lost in Time.
Lost in Time?
Mobile game. It's a idle game. It's not great for streaming, I've discovered, because I'd never played it before. I'd never even opened the app before streaming. And thank you, Christian, for letting me crash the Traveling TARDIS streams as well for that. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, you can pop back after this episode and take a look at Doctor Who's Lost in Time. See what that's all about if you've ever been curious about that.
So if you're interested in Lost in Time, the episode is here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. It's part of the Game On series, a playlist that we have, and that's sponsored by the rathole.ca. So we're very, very thankful for Dave when he plays games occasionally, especially when he plays Doctor Who stuff. That all the stuff that's out there, you can check it out now, and check out the rathole.ca over on the YouTube channel.
Please.
And last but not least, we're going to be bringing in. Sorry, coffee gets me. We're going to be bringing in the lovely Gadget. Not much on the Who Knew news, but definitely we're going to a little bit to talk about. And we're going to go over the birthdays, and Chipo will be part of that if she wishes to be part of the news. But without further ado, Tom, take us to the news, please.
I need my
soda.
Yeah.
Seriously,
5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, this is how actresses get through things on set.
Chipo, we're this professional. There's no kind of professionality.
I don't drink coffee, and I like tea. I'm very Irish on that side, but the Italian, yeah, I never got the Italian coffee. So, yeah, and I know there's something back there. I know you guys see that because congratulations again on 126, and we are now validated, aren't we, Christian?
What's that?
Didn't YouTube validate us as like they gave us a check mark and stuff?
Yeah. Yes. Well, not only are we at 125, and now we're at 126,000 as of yesterday, which the people are still coming up. But thank you, Gadget, for reminding us. Yes, just of 2 days ago, we became a verified YouTube channel. So now we're only the silver button. We are a verified YouTube channel. And people have been asking. People have been asking me, what does that mean? I said, we have a check mark by name.
We are legit. Don't know how it happened, but we are legit.
We are legit.
And everything. Maybe now they'll take us seriously at conventions.
No, they
especially
won't.
Here in New York.
Nobody's
Gadget.
Nobody's going on their phone and checking this out.
Gadget, I didn't get I was muted at the time, but I wanted to tell you after that intro music, your little like sodas, like the little right after the music, it was like perfect timing.
Oh yeah,
like for how early it is.
Oh, yeah.
I
we
do
got
that.
a special guest, and this is how we introduce them. But soda opening up on the news.
Well,
That's great.
I'm sorry, guys. I had absolutely no clue that by calling this time, I was going to make you all stretch out.
No. This is why people like us.
All right, wait. Chipo, first of all, if you've ever seen our episodes, you're not the first, and you won't be the last. And that's just the way it is. It's okay. It's. I always joke around and say, why did I just get Star Trek or Star Wars? Everybody's here in the United States. In fact, one of our future
I'm not
guests
actually in the United Kingdom at all. I'm actually in Zimbabwe. Of all places.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's where I'm originally from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only saying this, and our team doesn't know yet, but we are landing another interview, and the gentleman in question is in New Zealand. And when I went to research how the time zones are, it's a 17-hour difference. UK, it's only 5. And when I checked to see, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe you'll put us at the night. Nope, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard. I'm like,
That still works for me.
so that's why I got the
Just fill up
coffee.
3 a.m.
That's why I got the coffee. So
I
it's
got
okay, Chipo. It's okay. We are so used to this nonsense.
Especially when we do our happy birthdays and everything, especially with Catherine Hicks, who is of Star Trek fame and also Seventh Heaven, Child's Play era. She actually turned 75 years young and does not look like it. Anytime you see her, she is like the sweetest person going and everything, but she has given up acting in 2022 or 2023. So she is no longer gracing our screens, but she is gracing our cons. Hopefully we can get her back into something because she is a very good actress. Maybe another Seventh Heaven reunion or maybe something with Star Trek, but who knows, especially since Star Trek had their 60th anniversary recently in Las Vegas. Whereas now we also have to honor somebody, especially when we had 2 Ronnies to deal with. But this is the original Ronnie.
I honestly don't think we're going to have a Seventh Heaven reunion, but
never know.
That's true.
You never know.
Interesting.
Yes, it will. But like I said, we had to deal with 2 Ronnies recently, but the original Ronnie did celebrate a birthday on August 10th, 1939, but she did pass away March 30th of 2014, but she was from stage to television. She portrayed a lot of character actors and basically graced our screens. A lot of gentlemen liked seeing her in The Vampire Lovers, The Horror of Frankenstein, as well as Corruption, The Brothers, Howard's Way. She was a very versatile actress, and she is long missed. But I think they did a pretty good homage to her, even though the series didn't go the way it was supposed to, but they kept her like essence around. But she was the original Ronnie, really cool and stuff. And since we are light on news because of what's going on with the wilderness years and everything starting, basically we did get treated to something really cool and stuff. If you were in Forbidden Planet, I think it's London's Forbidden Planet, you got to meet Jo Martin, and she was signing the Fugitive Doctor signatures all over the Circuit Breaker series. It is that early, from the Kaleidoscope, and there was another book that they were charging $14.99 pounds each from Titan Comics. If you picked them up at the store, you got her autograph, and that was on August 8th, this past weekend and stuff. So those lucky few, if you want to show them off, send it in to us, because everyone said they had a ball there, and even the owners were even promoting on their Instagram channel to have everybody come in and meet her. And a lot of people had just either missed her or were stuck in traffic on a train, because there was one Instagram that was really funny about how they almost missed seeing her. But at least we have something to look forward to during the wilderness years with the Circuit Breaker series. And also to look forward to is also Big Finish, but we do have some sad news, is that one of our Big Finish actresses decided to step away from her full-time stage acting career due to memory issues at the age of 93. She was in the Doctor Who universe, including the War Master, Solitary Entertainment, and Forth with the Hope. That is Dame if I can pronounce it, Sienna Phillips. And many of you have heard her stories on Big Finish, as well as she was in the 4th Doctor's Adventures, the War Master, Lady Christina, other appearances in Torchwood. So all power to her, understandably, and everything and stuff, that it's sometimes you have to know when to walk away. But something broke today about our time here in the States 30 minutes ago, but it was on at 9:30 this morning, that even though Big Finish has already let us know that Billy Piper and Christopher Eccleston will be doing adventures and everything, they now welcome Good Omens star Dune McKinnon, if I'm saying that right, to the cast and everything. And the award-winning, the BAFTA-winning actress who starred as Archangel Michael in Good Omens is joining the voice cast of Doctor Who, the 9th Doctor's Adventures, Dark Tide, as Dr. Vivian Rest, the sole survivor aboard a long mapping ship that drifted back into normal space. So that's not bad and everything. So check those out on Big Finish. But the craziest thing was in a recent, which they answered my question, podcast of Sparks and Chaos, if many of you don't know, is a anime My Hero Academia, but one of the main hosts, Leah Clark, is a big Doctor Who fan, and she was trying to explain in the recent episode about Doctor Who to their other co-host, Kyle Phillips, who cannot wait to see the TARDIS. So if we're at the conventions, we might be able to pop in and get a picture with them. But it was just funny how she was trying to explain it, and he had never seen the show. So I'm hoping that maybe now Leah and everybody else, and I told them to come watch us. They'll probably pick it up on and see how it is and everything. But with the Wilderness Years, we can bring more people in because now AMC is still running. So make sure you get your subscriptions to AMC Plus so that you can watch the episodes that you missed and everything. But otherwise, there hasn't been really any news. And the only other thing I did see right now, as it's popping up on my screen, because this is what happens, we're up at 5 a.m. It wasn't them approaching David Tennant about Dean Devlin and the thing. It was 2 separate topics that got merged, and some of the podcasters are merging it together when it was 2 separate topics. So that I'm still researching right now, guys, that if they approached each other. But right now, as far as I knew, it was 2 separate topics. So as for the news, anybody got anything else? Because we basically, and a certain convention has been asking people to get their tickets for Long Island Who, because it will be their last year while the Wilderness Years is going due to costs and everything. So if you guys still want to check out some of the doctors or the cast or anything and stuff, feel free to partake to their channel page and everything on X, on regular Facebook and everything, and see if there's any tickets left before they all go out. All right, but guys, anything?
So Li Who's going to be is going on a hiatus now because it unfortunately it checked its final. It's being put out to tender or whatever you want to call it out there. So yeah, if you get a chance, this is, I think it's this weekend or next weekend.
I'm gonna recheck, but I think it's in Holtzville, New York. And let me just pull it up real quick, because like I said, they have been announcing so many things like and guests and everything right now. So let's see. I think it was Li Who is going to be. Really, I think the internet is already stopping it.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to be I am very surprised they didn't put the dates up on the internet. It is okay.
Well, while
it's going to be August 14th through the 16th in Holtzville, New York.
This
at
weekend.
The Holiday Inn, at the Holiday Inn Islip Airport East.
Gotcha. So get your tickets now. I know that I think their VIP sold out. So if you haven't gotten a ticket, this is going to be their last.
Daphne's going to be there. Fraser's going to be there. Peter Davison. I know he's going to kill me on that one. Is going to be there, and Samir is going to be there. And guys, just check it out. Katie Manning's even going to be there.
Cool. Oh, Katie.
And I plead the 5th on everything with that. Otherwise, yes, there would have been. Okay. So, otherwise, that's it for the news and everything. You guys got anything?
Well, I want to give a special thank out to our friends over at NostalgiaCon. I got to visit them this past weekend, and especially I got to see Brian Herring over there, who Chipo, he is the puppeteer for Beep the Meep, and he does a lot of puppeteering, but he is better known for the guy who handled BB-8 from the Star Wars series. But he also took care of Beep the Meep during the Disney Plus series. And for those of you who may not be familiar, you were some people have been asking, especially I just want to let the new folks know, no, Catherine Hicks was not on Doctor Who. But when we get a hold of Chipo, she's going to be joining in the ranks of all these folks. So I want to thank everybody who got their picture with the Traveling TARDIS. That included Brian himself. Oh, I got you, Tom. I'm sorry. Just this one. I got this one. That include Brian himself. And I know Melanie, big fan, I think. Tara Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of that. Yep.
Yes. Those legs.
Yep. Tara Strong. Those legs. Yep, Harley Quinn herself.
She graces New York a few times.
And I was introduced to Susan Eisenberg, who is better known as the voice of Wonder Woman. She actually now does a podcast with our fellow podcast mate himself here. I believe it's called Justice Limited, I believe. I'll check it out. But Susan and James Engstall from the Geek to Me Radio, they both do it together. And plus, Chipo, where are you going to find pigs in space? It's right here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And there is a video with pigs playing with the Traveling TARDIS. Unfortunately, one tried to eat it, and that is the Traveling TARDIS itself. This is the icon. This is our Mickey Mouse. This is the one that started it all. He's taking a little siesta right now. But yeah, they have a zoo in there, which was really cool. And I wouldn't say zoo, but there were animals you got to interact with, and they asked for a small contribution to help in their projects with these animals. One of them was a kangaroo, a baby kangaroo. You get to ride a camel, and the other one were these pigs. And of course, the TARDIS had to be with the pigs. And that's how we got there. But there is a video out there on our YouTube channel if anybody wants to check it out. So, without further ado, Gadget, you want to wrap up the Who Knew news? On the mute button?
Should I push the button?
Like I said, we got Li Who basically going into tender. We have all the other stuff. If anybody was at the signing for Joe, please let us know, because a lot of your Instagrams have been funny and really cute and everything. It was a really nice event, and it was looked like it was well organized. So I hope to see more of that coming soon. But also check out Big Finish. Check out all the stuff that's going on, especially now that we know one of the cast members from Good Omens is going to be with Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper on audio. So let's see what happens, But otherwise, I think that's all the news. And again, a shout out to Sparks and Chaos, because they had me on and answered my question. But I love that Leah is a Doctor Who fan, and she always has been. So I can't wait to get her picture if you guys ever catch her at the conventions.
Got it. All right, Tom, take us out. I think, Dave, should we take a commercial break? And
yeah, do it now.
Do it now.
We don't have to worry about.
GB, you okay? We're gonna go ahead and get paid.
Cool beans.
You got it. All right. Well, without further ado, when we return, we're going to be. There we go. When we return, we're going to be introducing the lovely Chipo Chung from Doctor Who made her appearance in Utopia and Turn Left. And we're going to be talking about her career and her upcoming projects. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in. Tom!
I pushed the button.
I didn't listen to that voicemail. I'll tear open that letter you sent. Don't you tell your friends I want you back. I gotta leave you now and unread, because you've already said those words that switch my heart to dead from loving you. So you'll stay ghosted and I'll stay focused. I'll sew in close. The spell stays unspoken, a dark silhouette of a marked man, and I'm broken. Right down. I didn't listen to that voicemail. TikTok, that story you sent. Don't you reel me in to get me back. I'm gonna leave you now.
So what's your favorite Western? Is it this one, or maybe one of these? Is it a revisionist Western, an anti-Western, or maybe it's an all-time classic? Whether your favorite Western is in black and white, vibrant Technicolor, a spaghetti Western, a neo-Western, a comedy, or maybe it's only really Western in spirit. Whatever it is, this is the podcast dedicated to determining the top 100 Westerns of all time. Every second Monday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. It's Horses on Film.
Tired of toxic fandoms? Do you wish we could go back to being happy? So do we. We created the Happiness Patrol to get away from all of the toxicity in fandoms, in life, and so we decided we wanted to do a show about something that makes us happy. And in our second season, that's movies that make us happy. So join myself, Cameron, Scott, Jessica, and Melanie on Happiness Patrol at youtube.com/@happinesspatrolshow.
Hi, I'm Janet Fielding and I played Tegan Javanka in Doctor Who, and this is The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Back to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and for those just joining us, welcome to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Over 126,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much. Now certified. And this moment, I still have no idea what that means, but we're enjoying that little check mark by our name. And welcome back. I am Christian Basil here, the host, and we got our team of fellow panelists and a lovely special guest, Chipo Chung from Utopia and Turn Left in our studio. What was that? Really? Right, well, welcome back over there. Speaking of which, yeah, I'm using my coffee, and today it's the hazelnut nut house from Coffee Shop of Horrors, and we will be selling that at Tom. We will be selling that. Shush.
You gave him control of the buttons.
Yeah.
I pushed the
You
button.
want me? So you're asking me to cut it off? Okay. There you go. So yeah, Chipo, do you drink coffee?
Sure, I drink coffee, but I'm on a cup of tea at the moment.
Okay. What's your
Yeah, I'm a little bit. It's a little bit later for me. It's about 11:30 actually in Zimbabwe, where I am.
Okay. I mean, you drink tea. But what's your cup? What's your favorite preference of tea?
Oh, or what we call in London builders, which is just black tea with milk. Yeah, I do the full range though. If you're in my kitchen, and tea is not a very American thing, is it? I have a whole drawer full of various kinds of herbal teas, rooibos tea, rooibos spice tea, a lot of ginger tea. So yeah, we tea it up. But I'm half Chinese, so actually the most tea I drink is probably green tea.
Oh.
Yeah,
we drink quite a bit of tea, but we tend to like put 1,000 cups of sugar in it, whatever kind of tea it is. That's
Americans and the Canadians on that side of the ocean, they seem to be fruit teas, which I think are better sweet.
Nah, experiment with green tea mixed with hibiscus with a little bit of lemon and honey is good. I actually make concoctions.
Tea is slowly coming over here on the stateside, where more and more people are having, are enjoying. Like, personally, I really do enjoy a good rooibos teas. I like that they tend to be caffeine free, if I remember. But yeah,
in Zimbabwe, you can actually order at a restaurant something called a concoction. You can ask for a concoction, which is, what a concoction is generally is ginger. Ginger and lemon, but deeply boiled ginger and lemon, and then of course you want some honey in it. But I love the fact I do make it sometimes for myself with a hot toddy. That's good for winter's night, a hot toddy. But I love the fact that you can go to a restaurant and order a concoction and get it. Yeah.
Does it tend to be a little bit more on the spicier side since you're using ginger? That specific that ginger heat.
Super gingery, yeah. And I love ginger. That's definitely one of my
It's a good warming herb.
Yeah, but like all people, I am also addicted to coffee. So, cheers, everyone, with my cup of tea.
Well, cheers to you too. But it's we go the other way because we go to the iced tea, and there's nothing like Southern iced tea at all. I mean, you don't have Southern iced tea unless you had one cup and you've hit diabetes when you hit it. So
it's tea flavored sugar.
It's just pure sugar and maybe some tea with it. That's how we
a little bit of tea. Yeah,
awful. Zimbabweans would love that. Because this is diabetes country where we like to put seven spoonfuls of sugar in our tea, and I'm not joking.
Really?
Not me, but it's pretty standard here. People like their sugar.
No. You don't have Southern tea unless the ghost of Wilford Brimley's following you around as you're drinking this stuff.
Can we all just agree that sugar?
Did I just date myself by saying Wilford Brimley?
Perhaps.
Our house.
Great.
Can we all just agree that sugar is amazing? I mean, I think that's what the world is saying, that sugar is the goat.
Chipo, before you got your 2 roles in Doctor Who, were you a Whovian? Were you aware of Doctor Who at all? Or was this your first experience?
No, I was aware of Doctor Who because I grew up in Zimbabwe, and it's weird what came to us and how television is such a universal culture. I mean, I grew up with the A-Team and Growing Pains. Remember Growing Pains?
Yes.
And a lot of American TV shows of the 80s. And then we also got a lot of British shows. And Doctor Who was one of them. They probably would have been reruns of Tom Baker. And I remember them being quite scary, but I must have been quite young. So no, Doctor Who was not completely new to me when it got revamped. And it was like such a huge deal because it had been a huge gap, right? Between the 80s and the noughties. So it was a real throwback. It seemed like a real throwback. And that's something that's just really wigging me out at the moment. You didn't say happy birthday to me, even though it's my birthday.
What?
Next week. No, I didn't hear
I didn't want to say anything when I did my homework, but I wanted to be very respectful.
It's your birthday next week. But the thing about coming of age, it's just so weird that, you know, when I did Doctor Who, Tom Baker was like ancient history. It was so, you know, another century basically. But that's probably the amount of time span now between when I did Doctor Who and Doctor Who going on now. So I am that old school, and that's really weird to me because I still think it's 2006, and 2006 was just. You know, I mean, I was the other day listening to Madonna's True Blue because I was a fan in the 80s, as was every little girl. And True Blue was released 40 years ago. Yes, 40 years ago.
Oh,
that's so funny. That's so goodness.
Don't put a stamp on it. It hurts.
I know. So all I'm saying is that being here on this podcast with you is a bit of a time warp for me, and coming of age to the ripe old age of beep. I find it really confusing that somehow, but maybe culturally we're on this exponential curve. Are we with technology that? I mean, the difference between the 50s and the 90s was massive, right?
Yeah.
But between the 90s and now, it's not, you know, we're still in the same decade, aren't we? Isn't it still the 90s?
I hope so.
Yes,
it feels like it.
In our brain.
In the clothing of what everyone's wearing now, the younger generations, I'm looking at them seeing the same pants I loved and other blouses and tops, and I'm going, oh, good. The stuff I grew up with is in fashion again.
Of those. I just donated all of that. Because I'm looking like everybody's wearing the stuff I just donated like crazy. Bags of old clothing from the 90s, the 2000s, because when I did background acting, I always had doubles of every outfit. So some of them were brand new, and now Target's selling them.
Yeah, it's on Poshmark now.
I mean, freaky when I was in college in the late 90s. Like the vintage stuff was late 70s, early 80s stuff. So that's going back 20 years. Is it 20 years to be vintage? And now vintage would be from like 2004. And a lot of the Doctor Who fans, might have been born when Turn Left and Utopia came out, which is it's just crazy. It freaks my mind out.
Chiba, I don't know how the radio stations work, or I don't know how radio works over at in Zimbabwe, but here in the States, I remember when they had the classic radio shows down here. What would happen is you would hear the classic radios, the hits from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
CBS FM 101.1.
And when the 80s got shoved in there, I was like, I'm going to wrap my car around a tree right now because this is not happening. And it was just like, oh my God. So Jump and Van Halen and all the guys that I grew up with, they're now classic. I'm just like, whatever. So I totally understand. When we look back and just like, oh, it's 20 years. Oh, it's 40 years from now. Just like,
and Sticks Boy, you're giving me tremors now. I'm having a slight anxiety.
I'm sorry.
2066 is as far away as 1986 was. That's just freaky.
Oh, no.
I think one of the strange things. I think one of the strange things too is when you realize when you get to that age, and it happens to people multiple times in adulthood, when you're like, oh, I'm not the target demographic anymore. Like I'm not the cool hip age anymore. Like they think of me as like being older, and then like it happens again, and you're like, I'm not in that group anymore. Like it's weird. Like I'm only in my 30s, and I've already experienced this. Like moving out of my early 20s to my early 30s, it's like, oh, like the media doesn't give a crap about me anymore. Like it's just so interesting. Feeling like, I don't know, like the feeling of like time, I don't know, like thinking about like 2007 being almost 20 years ago. It's just a crazy thought. You know what I mean?
You are no longer the target demographic.
Yeah.
So Chipo, now that we're on memory lane, let's go ahead and take you back 20 years, back to the moment that you got the role of in Doctor Who. You get it twice. What was your feeling at the time that you got the role of Chantho? And
it was a super big deal for me. It was my second TV job, and the first one I just got in a few months. So it was very, very early in my career. And at that time, I was trying to buy my first apartment, and it was a game changer for me, that period, because it's horrible being an actor, because it feels like being an actor is like a popularity contest. And when I was younger, there was always, you have to, I hope they like me. I hope they like me. That's what you hope.
I say that every day on this show, so it's okay.
We do like you, Christian.
Things shifted because I was trying to buy an apartment and I needed a mortgage, and I had to go into what became more scary, was going and speaking to a bank manager and trying to front like, I was a competent person who was making money. But it was around that period that for the first time I went into auditions not thinking I want you to like me, and just thinking I want the money. Give me the job. And it completely shifted things, because it takes your ego out of it when you like just need something technically and want to show that you're competent. I remember for my audition, I had really long hair at that time, and I had these big bunches at the top. And I guess I was going for like, I am half Chinese, and was just leaning into something that was like a cutesy teen Asian girl. I think the pom-poms did help. And that was directed by Graham Harper, who was actually a classic Doctor Who director. He had directed, it 20 years before. And I was really, grateful to him, excited. It was weird. I remember my agent sort of being befuddled by it, because she didn't think it would do all that much for my career because it was under so much heavy prosthetic. But I was super psyched. And then I was quadruply psyched when I found out that I was going to be acting opposite, legendary Shakespearean actor. Because when I became an actor and moved to England, I, like many American and non-British people who are actors and move to London or move to the UK, they want to act at the Royal Shakespeare Company. That's what my ambition was. Doctor Who wasn't really in the game plan, but I did get to star opposite Derek Jacobi, and Derek Jacobi is in that a completely different kind of fandom. If you're into that kind of stuff, for my my A level, that's like 12th grade English. We studied Richard II. And I think I watched Derek Jacobi's BBC Richard II about 11 times when I was in high school. So I was like quadruply psyched to act opposite him. And it was hilarious to be living out my childhood fantasies under this humongous layer of prosthetics where there was like robotics in my head. So actually underneath it all I could hear was and sort of watching him lip syncing while acting opposite him. But, I got to shoot him with a really cute laser. So it was one of those weird, living the dream moments. Not quite the dream as I had imagined it. Maybe some, crazy, fucked up nightmare dream where I'm an insect alien, a cute, sometimes some people think sexy insect alien, but still acting opposite Derek Jacobi in a key climactic moment. So yeah, it was definitely career high for me at the time, and I still remember it with much heart and love for Chantho.
How long did those prosthetics take to get on in the day?
Oh, hours. It got shorter, but like 3. I think it probably started at like 4 hours and then got down to 2.5 or something like that. But it was massive. And I remember we shot consecutively 5 days in a row. And it was so weird to look at yourself and so full on. But then at the end of the day, they, had to kind of peel it off. A little bit like a V monster, but with a lot of alcohol, I suppose. And the first day when we wrapped, like my skin looked amazing because it was like the most amazing like exfoliation. But by day 5, when we were taking it off, it was like, oh my God, I feel like it was like they were peeling off my skin. It was so paper thin. I don't know how many layers of skin had been taken off. So yeah, definitely suffered for my art. And I thought back to Star Trek at that time. And who was it? Who was it? Worf? Is that right?
Yeah, Worf. Yeah.
I don't know what, maybe they did it different then, but I just thought back to those like regular players who have to wear prosthetics. I would die. 5 days was really enough for my skin. Definitely.
I just remember when they were when they were talking about Marvel, when Robert Downey Jr. first started as Iron Man, he had to, they built this suit for him, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, guys, essentially the suit became a green outfit at that moment, and they just like built it in as so it became this green thing. So I was just like, I think over time, when you were in the role, they were still doing prosthetics and stuff, but I think it probably now, if you were to do the role again, it'd probably be a lot easier. Although the Chantho thing was a little like, how did they convince her? It's like, how did they make her do it? And at some point, it's just like, did you trip over yourself? And it's like, okay, this is getting annoying.
Well, it was also like carrying a vase on your head, because there was actually a machine on the top under, whatever was on the top of her head. That's where the robotics controller was. So they did take it off for lunchtime. But at the time, I also felt like immense privilege to have a mask of that level of expense. And it was also, I wasn't alone out there because I had my robotics team on the side playing with me too. Yeah. They were having a great time with it. Yeah.
I wanted to ask if it's okay. I know, like, you're talking about these experiences on the set, and I think, I was talking a bit ago about like time passing so fast. I think for Doctor Who fans, we really, once someone appears in the show, it's like, I think Doctor Who fans are very loyal with how much like they appreciate people who've been in the show. I think for us, it's like no time really passes. But so I'll try to avoid asking like the annoying questions about the set and everything that you probably have been asked before. But basically, both of the episodes you were in have very extravagant sets. I mean, in addition to the extravagant costume you're talking about, they were very very thorough and elaborate sets. What do you remember of just being there and like the lighting and all the different props that were on location? Like, what are your memories of that?
I mean, because she was under prosthetic, it was important that she had the right lighting, and some things were weird, like on television, stillness counts for a lot, but she couldn't be too still. Graham was like, you have to move because otherwise the mask sort of deadens. And it was the same with the light. So there are some publicity photos of Chantho that I absolutely hate. In fact, I don't hate the one that you just showed, but this photo, exactly. This was taken when we were rehearsing. So the light is not right. It's not hitting right in the way that it actually does during the show. She doesn't look as, there's something kind of attractive about Chantho, but she doesn't have the right lighting on her, she just looks like a big blue turd. So I was a little frustrated that some of the publicity photos were taken in these in-between shots. I mean, I remember going to one convention and they had this like, you see, she's kind of attractive in the right light. They had this photo up.
I would think it's a contribution to you being attractive and bringing her into the right light.
Exactly.
No, the light really counted, but I had to sit underneath this huge poster of me looking like a blue turd, which I was not very impressed by. But yeah, in general, production design, I think, is like the most underrated offering that film crews give. It always sort of bewildered me. My first big movie, which was sort of around that time, was as Icarus in Sunshine, the Danny Boyle film. And that was like a spectacular set. Have any of you into Sunshine? It takes place on a spaceship, and it was my first time on a big movie set. And I was just amazed that you could walk through what seemed like miles of set and everything around you had such a level of detail. And it's all written off when you watch something. All you're looking at is like the actor's face and close up, and everything's blurry in the background. But if you're actually on a set and you look at just, the amazing thought that's been put to things. The fortune teller was, kind of fun. I mean, it was kind of sending it up. I mean, I was kind of in a panto outfit. She was kind of like a panto fortune teller. And and that's what is fun with Doctor Who is the chance to send things up and be theatrical. I think there were some actors in the British East Asian community who gave a little frown at it and how are East Asians portrayed, but others recognized the satire of it. And I did really enjoy sending that up. I was actually directed by Graham Harper, the same director, and they called me back in for it, and it was, you know, I think I did read for it, actually. I think I did read for it, but I remember we did this read through for Turn Left, and it was in this, I think it was like a church hall, and it was this big, huge room, and we had like massive cast, and then behind the cast, like a massive amount of production folks who were there to listen to it. And I identify, I mean, now my agent even says, well, Chipo, you're known as a television actor, whereas I've always identified as a theater actor. And given an audience and given this big hall, I really did send it up. And Graham called me that night and was like, so Russell and I, Russell wanted to send you a message, and he just wanted, you know, he's suggesting that you just tone it down a little bit. And this is Russell T Davies, obviously. I was like, oh, no, that's fine, Graham, fine. Like, just how much do you want me to tone it down? And Graham says, about 80%. Speaks to how big the Chinese fortune teller had gotten. Which is one of my.
You were performing for the mezzanine and not the camera.
Yeah, I was performing for the stage.
Which was your favorite theater company?
Which
theater company? Yeah, which was the one that you? Because I see you worked for Royal National, the Royal Court, and everything, like Liverpool. What was your favorite? Like, what gave you the best energy?
Love their Royal. I worked for a couple of years with a theatre company called Out of Joint that did political theatre, and that's the play that went to the Royal Court, and that's an amazing stage. I mean, just to stand on that stage, I can't really describe what the feeling is as an actor of being held in that way by a stage and the way the audience is set out. But my ambition had always been to be in the Royal Shakespeare Company, which always thwarted me, much to my frustration. But I finally did get to play Dido, Queen of Carthage.
I was just going to ask you about that
company, and that was another. I love being an actor, and I love the fact that you have these fantasies. They may take years to realize. Like, I think at one point my life ambition was to be in the Royal Shakespeare Company, and then when I was at drama school at RADA, I realized it was a pretty kind of achievable life ambition to be in the Royal Shakespeare Company. And of course, because I had said that, I never got in. So when I did get in, it was a big deal for me. And I was really pleased that I was in a play that had never been performed at the Royal Shakespeare Company before, Dido, Queen of Carthage. They'd never done that play. So it was kind of like doing a new play as opposed to playing Titania for the 570th time. And I love the fact that she was an African queen, because I'm originally from Zimbabwe. And yeah, I put a lot into that show, and fortunately had an amazing director and set designer, and it was that was a dream job. And the Swan Theatre, which is this
kind of local theater.
Yeah, it's kind of has a bit of that feel of the Elizabethan theatres, but it's actually an oval and enclosed, and there's a really beautiful.
Yeah, I got to see A Midsummer's Night's Dream the year before, because I see you shot or did the play in 2017, and I was there in 2016 seeing A Midsummer's Night's Dream, and I love that theater. It was nice. It was beautiful. So when I saw you done this, it's gorgeous. Like, that stage is like,
And it's even freaking me out that that's nearly 10 years ago, because that doesn't
Tell me about that too. It's like, that was the last time I was in England.
Arthur Miller says time bends.
Mm-hmm. I would have loved to seen you in this. I would have loved it.
Yeah, it was a very, very special job for me. But then funnily, I've practically not worked in the theatre since. And that's in large part has been for my own personal reasons. Of course, there was a crazy hiatus of COVID, but I also had a kid after that, and doing theater is just not. It has to be a really amazing part, because doing theater just takes you away from bedtime, and bedtime is so much of being a parent. So
those years
and
go fast
also,
too.
unfortunately, the theater doesn't pay, which yeah, when you have to pay for childcare to go to work, you actually land up just having your salary pay for childcare, unfortunately. So it's been a while since I've been on stage, but I'm grateful that it's been a busy few years in television, and that, yeah, since lockdown and all that, I kind of managed to steer through it, because I know.
So is that why you picked Thomas the? Is that why you picked Thomas the Tank Engine to voice, because of your child and everything, to show a different aspect of your acting career?
You know, actors, yeah, they have been described as yeah, we'll do anything really. But I love the fact that at drama school I got trained for a lot of things. So I read a lot of audiobooks. I've done some video games. Senua's Sacrifice is a big one, where I play the narrator. And yeah, I play the voice of the Chinese engine and Thomas's Big World Adventure. And I also play the voice of Min the Mapmaker in the Octonauts. So that was really the one which I could show off to my kid about, because he was really into the Octonauts. But of course, when
I love that series.
They just don't understand what that means. My kid's 7 now, and it has become a thing for him asking, what shows have you been in? What shows have you been in? And I did show him Chantho the other day, and he and I look forward to him being the right age to fully watch the episode.
What did he think of that? Just
yeah, no, he thought it was very funny, but it was kind of. I think he hasn't actually seen me acting as myself on television, because he doesn't really watch grown-up shows. But I remember Min the Mapmaker really confusing his head when he was 4. That I guess the illusion of what cartoons were. And again, I think it was odd for me, I think, when I played Chantho. The funny thing is, though, how many people recognize me as Chantho. I remember once being in a line, LACMA. I was trying to see the Tim Burton exhibit some years ago. And I get to the front of the line, and the guy selling me a ticket goes, "You're Chantho." I was like,
not a question, just an assertion.
I was like, okay, how do you know that? You've seen pictures of me? He was like, no, I can tell from your eyes.
Oh.
That is a man who watches a lot of Doctor Who.
You're my boy, Blue!
Yeah.
And I've been spotted a couple of times as Chantho, which I find super freaky. But, you know, Doctor Who fans are on their own level.
That is hilarious too, because it's not like your face hasn't been in the show, but they recognize you as Chantho. Like,
yeah, that's the one. Definitely.
I was gonna say I've been having problems with my mic, but I was gonna say you were talking about like sending it up when you were playing the fortune teller. I think I was just gonna say, like, I'm glad that you did that, because that is such a crazy bombastic episode that having you say that right before the credits, the opening credits, like, I think I don't think that episode would have worked nearly as well, like setting up the mood without that. Like, I think that was absolutely, like, I think that kind of hit it out of the park, and like setting up the kind of like I said, the bombastic nature of how big that story is in Turn Left. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very as a performance, tongue in cheek, and for me, I guess it's it's challenging coming from different cultures and representing different races, and also not really sitting in any clear archetype. And I guess I embraced with gusto the opportunity to, play things you wouldn't be able to do on any ordinary day, and to have permission to do that with love and respect, of course. But yeah, to do something that's theatrical on television is a wonderful opportunity, and a lot of the times I've been in much more serious things, so it's good to have a laugh sometimes.
Chipo, have you ever been to Disney World or Walt Disney World or Disneyland or any of the Disney parks?
When I was 5, my cousins were in LA, so is that Disneyland? And
Yeah.
In LA,
Oh,
yes.
and
In California's Disneyland.
yeah, and then hey, I did go after my college graduation. I'm having weird flashbacks. I'm
Well,
having weird flashbacks that I've been again. There wasn't just that one time.
Well, the
But
reason
yeah.
why I'm asking is that when you told us the story about somebody recognizing you as Chipo, we call it, or at least it's affectionately called here, the cast member curse. And what I mean by that is I used to work as a cast member with a lot of other folks. My wife works at Disney as well. And what they mean is I'll be working at Jungle Cruise or one of the attractions that I used to work at. But when I used to go into the parks and play, you know, take off the costume and take off the name tag and everything, I'll just be walking around the normal stuff. The guests would walk by the cast members and ask me for directions. I'm like, I'm not even in a costume. How do you know that? But I guess they've been looking at my eyes. I think that's what it was. So we recognize you working there, your eyes. So we asked for directions. So I was like, you suffered the cast member curse. So
Yeah, it's crazy. It's freaky how much of your identity is, just in your eyes. Yeah, funny. Yeah, my memory of Disneyland from when I was a child was quite traumatizing, because my family were trying to get me in a picture with the chipmunks, and one of them kept walking away. You know, that was their shtick, but one of them kept walking away every time they got to take a photo, and it was really distressing to me. But you know, they were just clowning.
Yeah, those chipmunks can be funny.
But yeah, my next trip will be Disney World, because my son is obsessed. Disney World is the one in Paris, is it?
Orlando,
Florida.
There's one in
There's Paris Disneyland.
There's
one in
Paris,
Paris.
Tokyo,
Yeah,
Shanghai.
the one in Paris is the closest to London. I mean, I live in London and Zimbabwe, so Paris one is the closest one to me. And yeah, my kid is obsessed with Disney princesses, so gonna have to get that in.
Given that you split time between the UK and Zimbabwe, how do you juggle still, finding the time, also, with your child, finding time to either audition or find work or like, because as I mentioned at the very beginning, I watched, Silo. So I was very excited to see that you were going to, be on here with the Silo and I always butchered this, His Dark Matters.
His Dark
Materials. Thank you. I always say that one wrong. But yeah, how are you able to, juggle that with living in two different, areas and everything else?
I'm so grateful to technology. Yeah. I mean, I remember even like 2012, I did a stint in LA, pounding the pavement, going for auditions and stuff, and sort of saying to my agent at that time, if anything comes up in London, could I tape for it? Because American casting directors have been doing self-tapes since the noughties, since 2005, around 20 years ago. But the British hadn't caught up, and it was kind of the philosophy, if you weren't in town don't book a holiday because you'll book a job or an audition. You would just miss it. But now there is a huge amount of parts that I've gotten from self-tapes actually sitting at this table in Harare, Zimbabwe, which I send via WhatsApp to my agent that have gotten me work. Yeah, a lot of my recent work has been gotten from here. And some actors really hate self-tapes, but I love them because I'm an international person. And the only reason I need to be in London is if I have to be on set. And obviously my kid's enrolled in school there. So that's the thing. But it's been a huge help. And it puts a bit of distance, but as I've learned, as I've grown older, difficulty is not a challenge if they really want you. In fact, I think it's something that agents like. It's like, what can I give them to make it a bit more difficult to book you? So it's not really been a problem being here. I've always wanted to do a job that shoots in Cape Town, because Cape Town is like a 3-hour plane ride from here, and there's a lot that has shot in Cape Town over the past 20 years. But of course, when you really want something, it just doesn't happen.
It'll happen.
I'm still waiting to shoot in Cape Town.
You'll manifest it. You will manifest it. I mean, you manifest a lot of things. You're even an activist. I just found out and everything. Have you kept up with your activism, or are you starting new charities? Because I see your list of charities and they're really interesting. I just don't know if we can say them all on YouTube right now because of different terminologies. Let's put it that way. Because I read one of them that you did in 2020 and 2022. So I didn't know if we could talk about those. But
even Envision Zimbabwe or Fourth World.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean the charity I talk about is Pora, because that's like an established charity that I founded, and I've done so in the last 5 years. Because I had my child here, and my obstetrician was an amazing woman, and she was the chair of a clinic here called the Adult Rape Clinic, which unfortunately is a bit of a misnomer because they mainly treat and counsel young people and children. That's like 80% are like under 18 years old, and they give them psychological counseling and medico-legal counseling, but definitely medical counseling for all the kind of post-exposure prophylaxis that are needed for sexually transmitted infections and emergency contraception, that kind of thing. But they also counsel survivors for months after the event. So my obstetrician asked me to start a charity to raise funds for the clinic, which I did. And our charity is called Pora, which in Shona, which is one of the languages here, means to heal, but it's an acronym for Partnership on Rape Aftercare. And people can make donations to it in the UK on Just Giving, and in the States through a platform called Trust Bridge. If you Google Trust Bridge and Pora, P-O-R-A, Zimbabwe, you can find a way to make a donation. But yeah, it's been a labor of love and an amazing thing to be able to help. Because I think if we hadn't started the charity, the clinic wouldn't be operational. But yeah, because I grew up in Zimbabwe, a developing country, and I grew up with not massive privilege, as in I didn't come from
there was something I was going to ask you about from your childhood, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that and everything with the situation with Zimbabwe and the camps and how it was when you were younger and stuff, because I know different cultures, different areas, people don't realize and they don't talk about this. They like what you just talked about, and a lot of people don't talk about it.
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing with rape is it's not a particularly Zimbabwean problem. In fact, when I talk about, I'm at the moment spending more time here because I'm in pre-production, doing castings this week for a film that I'm going to be co-directing and I'm producing, which is about a pregnant 15-year-old girl who's been engaged in a child marriage, which is in some cultures, girls do get married very young, even though it's illegal. It's illegal in Zimbabwe, but girls do get married as young as 12. So we're making this film to raise awareness on the issue, and but also I hope it will be a powerful and evocative film. But when I tell people the story, a lot of my friends, be they British or be they American, just my buddies, like, why are you telling me this? And as we talk, it comes up that they had an experience of this when they were a child. So unfortunately, the exploitation of vulnerable children is just something that happens worldwide. And is something we need to talk about, because I don't know the actual figures, but for me, I think 1 in 3, 1 in 4 of my friends, and I don't think that I am, in a strange group of friends. I think just normal people have had things happen to them when they were young.
Now you recover after and go forward with your life, right?
How do you recover and go after? And often, it's so taboo and it's not talked about, and parents don't want to talk about. People don't know how to talk to children about it. And the horrible thing we find at the clinic is often they'll meet with a young person, like say in their early 20s, and they go into therapy and they'll discover that actually the first trauma happened when they were 7, and it's been something that's been repeated in different ways. I think there is something where the psychological vulnerability actually keeps calling it in if there aren't ways of safeguarding, ways of learning how to. I'm not at all putting that on the victims, but that there needs to be support to ensure that it's not something that repeats. So yeah, I grew up in a developing country, as you were saying. When I was like 6 months old, my mom took me to a refugee camp where she was helping kids get an education. This was during the liberation struggle from a kind of apartheid Rhodesia into a liberated Black majority Zimbabwe. And just the levels, I'm a middle class, come from a middle class, like intellectual background, not like highfalutin, super wealthy, but you're still so much more wealthy than, the poverty levels are so much more extreme. So yeah, for me to really have a conscience, for me, I struggled. I tell you, I struggled. Coming out of drama school, and I went to RADA, which was a very posh school, but coming out and wanting to have an ambition of being, a movie star or a TV star, or even just being really successful, being famous, I really struggled with that concept of wanting individual success in a world where so many people are experiencing challenges. And so activism has always been, I suppose, what's allowed me the freedom to have a job that is like my hobby and my play and my fantasy and fun. And what a privilege, to be picked up in a nice car and then be pampered, because that's what it's like as an actor. You are kind of fluffed the whole day through makeup. Do you want a drink? Do you want that? Do you want this? And I appreciate that I have that kind of privilege, but I don't think I could live. From my background, could not live with that privilege without trying to do something for people who have so much less. So,
and I like the fact your mom was an advocate for education and everything, and she would bring education.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we went from, while my mom was working in the Ministry of Education in Zimbabwe, from like 4% high school education to something like 60% high school education, and to from, I can't remember the exact figures, but something like 30% junior school education to like over 100%, because there were all these adults who wanted to get primary school education. So yeah, I'm very proud of my mom, and she's also a big reason why I spend a lot of time in Zimbabwe.
Is there anybody else?
Well,
Tom,
yeah, Tom. You've been too quiet in the dark.
You mean shadow producing all these things, watching things fall as usual, because that seems to be the thing when I'm on the show. Everything falls in the background. So based on that, do you collect any little trinkets, massive amounts of things that's not necessary, or your child have interesting hobbies and such?
Did you nick anything off the set?
Yeah.
Did you take the helmet home?
I'm not saying anything about me. No.
Have I nicked anything off the set?
I
plead the
won't
fifth. I plead the fifth.
We won't tell.
No, I mean, bless. No, the only thing I nicked from the Silo set was they have this board with a storyboard where the storyboard artist has written out all the shots, and I did nick one of the cards when we were complete. They generally go and like cross them out when they've got the shot, and I was like, no, I want this one. That, as far as nicking is concerned, I haven't stolen anything else. But I will say that Silo, they've been the most amazing employers in looking after the cast, and the best goodie bags. They beat everyone basically, with really beautiful and distinctive, like Silo appropriate reminders, which cannot be resold, and which I just keep close to my heart. Very lucky. I think the first year, the modeling department gave all the actors a little model of the Silo stairs, a baby one, as a memento, and that's just a really beautiful work of art. And it's such an amazing show in terms of like that is an amazing world show in terms of production design. I did this thing trying to raise money for my charity earlier this year, and all of the producers at Silo were super helpful, and Rebecca Ferguson was absolutely lovely in like helping me auction a day on the set of Silo, which was won by two guys who were, I'm going to get the term wrong because I'm so bad with science, but they basically are electrical workers that like they climb up the electrical poles and fix electricity.
Gaffers, I think. Maybe gaffers?
No, not on sets.
No.
In real life.
Oh, lineman.
Lineman, is that what it's called?
Lineman is the term in the States.
Yeah, in like industrial electrical repairmen climb up poles and who deal with electricity. Yeah, so they were actually real mechanicals, which I loved. So I spent 2 days. I spent a day on the set with these two guys, giving them a tour because they had won this online raffle, and it was really eye-opening for me because when you go on set, you're sort of going to shoot your scene. And you're being prepped for your scene, and you come into the world and it's as you imagined it. But when I did the tour, just behind the scenes, there's, however many other sets, which are all in a different state of having lighting tests done on them, having paint work done on them, having the scenes that were shot last week are done. So now we're completely repainting and graffitiing it. So it looks like it's a different, if you've watched Silo so far anyway, there've been a couple of Silos, and you would see what Silo 17 and 18, that they would shift and change so much, and it blew my mind. And this was like in the last few weeks of the show, and the fact that we were in 2 studios with multiple stages in each of them, it absolutely blew my mind how much work and industry is going on, not just on the set you're on, but on the 5 other stages in the 2 different studios. It was crazy.
Gotcha.
And yeah, a very, very special show, which actually took me from, we were talking about lockdown. I think that was his Dark Materials and Silo took me out of lockdown. And yeah, and I only completed on Silo this year. So I'm very grateful.
Chipo, did you, we're coming to the end of the show. Were there any other projects or anything that may be coming up down the line that you wanted to let our audience know as of August the 11th when we're filming this live? Is there anything that people can catch you or where people can follow you on your social media presence?
Oh God, what are my social media handles? Yeah, please follow me. I'm in Silo, and we've got another season coming out next year. And I can't really plug the other show I'm in because I didn't think you're meant to do that. So yeah, at the moment, what I'm practically doing is prepping for directing my first feature. So this is the film about the pregnant 15-year-old girl. So I'd love people to follow that. And yeah, I do, if people want to know about my activism and charity work, I obviously let people know. Mainly I'm on Facebook, but Instagram is really more my vibe. So I hope that you come along on the journey.
Gotcha. Dave, I think did you ask a question to Chipo? We're just about to wrap up.
At the beginning, I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well,
I haven't
Chipo,
just been sitting here quietly.
Yeah. You're worse than Tom.
Fascinating.
With the lights on. Okay, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Just a reminder for folks, and we are going to be making new announcements about conventions that will be coming up. But the one that's coming up very shortly is going to be in a couple weekends. Epicverse Fan Con, August 21st and the 22nd. You saw our sponsors, Kitchen Killers Barbecue Sauce, and you saw Coffee Shop of Horrors. We'll be selling those items there to help the show. It is free entry and free parking. I'm just going to take the banner down so we can show everybody the location. It's at 522 Dog Track Road in Longwood, Florida. The admission's free. The parking's free. So there's no reason not to come out there, and we're going to be geeking out, having a great time. And for those of you who want to stop by and talk Doctor Who, by all means, please come on down, and we'll see you right there. Also, September, I don't know why it's not going up here. September 25th to the 27th, we're going to be at Ancient City Con. It's going to be me, Melanie, Chrissy, the Daleks of Florida, the TARDIS. All the Daleks of Florida are going to be there. Again, this is going to be at the World Golf Village Renaissance Resort. And unfortunately, we just got the word that the Caddy Shack that was right next door has closed down, and that was just heartbreaking. I was talking to Max Michaels, who runs that convention. He was like, "That's heartbreaking." We'll find other places and other means. And if you haven't visited St. Augustine, Chipo, you got to go to St. Augustine. If you're going to visit Florida, this has got to be a stop on the way, because it's the oldest city in the United States, and ghost tours, pirates. It's just a beautiful city just to enjoy. AncientCityCon.com.
It's very relaxing.
Yes.
Oh, relaxing pirates. All right.
It's historical. It's small. It's quaint. It's the oldest city within the United States. It made its 500-year mark. But yeah, it's a nice little respite from the rest of the tourism of Florida.
Wait, it's 500 years old?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
oldest
crazy.
city in the United States that was founded, and
it's España.
There's a lush history about that. From
curious.
You got to check it out for yourself. But by any chance, if you're in St. Augustine in September, Chipo, you can come and visit us at Ancient City Con. Get your tickets now on September 21st to 27th, and please make sure, if you're going to be staying in the area, to book your hotel stay as well, because you can stay over at the World Golf Village Renaissance Resort. And finally, I got to read this, sorry, at parallelworldevents.com. This is being sponsored by our newly married friend, Jessamine, I guess I can say Campbell now. This is a Doctor Who celebration. This will be their first. It's going to be taking place Sunday, 15th of November. Why you guys put the dates that way, I have no idea. But Joe Martin, Sylvester McCoy, Katie Manning, Wendy Padbury, and Michael Trout are already there. We're going to be, I'm hoping we can invite Jessamine back to go more into this. Usually this is Mark's thing, but parallelworldevents.com. Please check it out. Get your tickets down. Tell them the legend of the Traveling TARDIS sent you. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Chipo, if you can just stay a few moments after the show ends, we'd appreciate that. And by all means, this is also an invitation to come back anytime you want to. If there's anything going on, or if you want our audience to know, if there's any special projects or shows or movies that you might be included in, please come on back. We welcome you back there. Did you have any last minute things that you want to say before we end the show?
Chan, thank you, though. It's been fun.
And thank you, though, as well there. And one of the things that we do, especially, are you familiar with the actor Simon Fisher Becker?
I'm not.
That's okay. He was one of our panelists. He played Dorian Moldovar, the blue guy, the big blue guy in the Matt Smith era. He used to be on this show as well. He used to be a panelist, and unfortunately, he passed last year. So one of the things we want to do every episode is to make him a part of the show. He's in the other corner right over here. There we go.
He's over there.
There we go. He's in the corner. Oh, there we go. He's in the corner right there. And we just ask everybody to say good night to him. So, Chipo, if you could, on behalf of everybody here at the Traveling TARDIS, just say good night, Simon, to start things off.
I'm going to say good morning, Simon.
That's true.
Good morning, Simon.
Simon, and enjoy a cup of cha.
There you go. And thank you, folks, for joining us. We will have a new episode next week, as we normally do. Keep an eye out on our conventions. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Chipo, for joining us as well. And without further ado, until the next adventure, Tony, take us out.